You gonna comment to that, or are you just giving an evil eye or something?
uh, sorry, I got I got nothing.
Before before Savvy answers, Wrexham goes and whispers something in his ear to the effect that it was it was Crystal that got the waiter to hand him the bill.
Yeah.
All right, so Reximus, I want you to roll a deception in the dice tower.
Okay. Let's
Uh,
see here. Deception.
I'm so you got what is called a critical failure, which is a 1. So I'm not even going to make him roll on it. So there's two things with the D20. If you roll a 1, it's called a critical failure, which means it's just an utter failure. If this is during an attack or something like that, usually something bad is going to happen. There is the opposite of that, which is called a critical success. And that's if you roll a natural 20 on the dice. And then your modifiers, of course, take that up. And a critical success usually means you're going to do like double damage, or you just have a resounding success. It's just an amazing success. So, I like I said, you don't believe him at all, Savvy. He did the worst. He's not a bluffer. He should not play cards.
then I growl at him and push him away. And I said, let's just get out of here.
All right, so you guys are gonna go to Gundren's.
Yes.
All right, so you head out. You go to Gundren's. Just as they're putting the last supplies into this wagon. I mean, it is chock full. I mean, you can see it looks like it has like mining supplies, lots of mining supplies. You can see just all kinds of supplies, and just as you're getting there, they go ahead and they throw a tarp over it, and they kind of tie it down so it's secure, and they go, okay, it's all ready for you.
Um, I thought we were going to have some oxen or something to carry this
Oh,
fine
there's two
outstanding.
oxen on the front of the cart.
Excellent. Well, then I guess we're off and start. Krista will climb on top of the wagon with Lilith, and Eldar says, "Well, I will scout ahead, and let us get on with this."
Okay, so here is where we're going to do something a little different. Up at the top on the right, there's some tiny buttons. One looks like a sword. That's called the combat tracker. You'll need that later on, but not at the moment. Next to it is a little button that says, if you mouse over, it says party sheet, and it looks like two little people. Do you guys see it?
Mm-hmm.
So if you click on that, you'll see there's a main. Looks like some people already know what they're doing. And then there's a tab called order. So I'm going to draw a really crummy job of the cart. So this is the cart. And I'm going to zoom it out just a little bit. Here are the oxen. We'll just draw some circles for the oxen because it's kind of hard to draw with a mouse. And you guys place yourself on that party sheet where you think you would be.
Oh, there'd be like 5-10 feet in front of the oxen,
Okay.
roughly.
So,
I'll be able to
Savvy,
cover in the wood.
do you see it, Reximus?
I'm not seeing this.
So, do you see the two little people icon? The button?
I do.
So, if you click on that, and then there's some tabs on the side. One of them says order. Do you see that?
Okay. Yeah.
So
Okay, I got you.
You can move your icon or your little token where it would be. So the square is the cart. The two circle things up front are the oxen.
That's not what it looks like, Troy.
Well,
Well,
it kind
when,
of looks like teeth and eyeballs.
Okay.
Notional oxen.
Okay.
So where do you want to put yourself?
Oh, yes, of course. I will be right here.
Okay, so you're kind of up on the side. All right, so you guys are going to go ahead and travel.
hold on. Before we take off, Crystal looks at Reximus, says, "Excellent positioning. I love how you are learning." She looks back at Savvy and says,
Chicken.
"Savvy, my friend, you big, strong brute. Shouldn't you be up front protecting us innocent ladies?"
Usually danger comes from behind where you least expect it.
Kids.
She kind of sighs, and Lilith says, "Okay."
All right.
He's
Aldar
really dense too.
steps into the
Seb is
chat.
really dense too. Does not do very good at picking up signals.
All right, so we ready to head out?
Yep, and as they say that, Aldar steps in the shadows and begins scouting out ahead as we put the oh, oxen, yo, let's roll.
Moving. All right, so if you look on the Neverwinter map, I'm moving the oxen here. I need, let's just do it in the order. Reximus, can you roll in the dice tower just a d20? We're going to see if any encounters happen on our way to Phandalin. So to just roll a regular d20, at the bottom of your screen you'll see dice. The very first one is the d20. You just drop that into it. All right, so it looks like we are good for the first little bit, so we're going to continue. We need Lilith to roll. Still good. Save, you're up.
Where do I roll from?
So, do you see the dice tower?
Yeah. But do I do it under? I don't do it under skills, do I?
No. At the bottom of your screen, there's just 6 dice.
Right, so I just
You just grab the 20-sided dice and drop it inside that dice tower. Perfect. Wow, you guys are rolling pretty good. So Crystal, you're up.
As they're riding, to make this more interesting, she starts singing a song about stinky, stinky goblins. Come out and play, you stupid, stinky goblins.
Okay, Alder, you're up. Okay. So as you're rounding a corner, I have another map for this. Let me grab it real quick, and I will share it. If you, well, actually, no, just leave that one there that's open. So as you're rounding the corner, I need to put people here. Let's see, Alder was up here. So give me just 1 second, and I will share another map with you. Lilith, put right there. Crystal is right there. Savi's being all brave, guarding the back.
for ambushes, right? For ambushes.
For ambushes. He's ready for any bushes.
That come up from behind. They came from
Reximus is right about here. Okay, so I'm going to share this map with you. And it might take a second for it to load up properly, but tell me when it loads up. You should see a cart.
See it.
Do you guys see it?
Yep, good to go on my end.
So Aldar, as you're moving along here, whoops, I just rotated you.
And I had rolled a stealth and perception check. I didn't know if you wanted me to roll another one.
Yes, go ahead and roll me another one in the dice tower. Okay, so what was that one? Oh, your perception. All right, so as you're closing up, you guys can see yourselves, right?
Yes.
And you can see a bend in the road. So Aldar, you're about right here, and you see something up the path just a little bit, like some bumps in the road, but not like natural bumps from the road themselves. You actually, it looks like things in the middle of the road that are kind of bumped.
Okay, as soon as I see those, I will make a bird call, which Crystal and Lilith will know that means that there's danger, and she will let the party members know that we careful. I think we're walking into a trap.
So let's hear that bird call.
Woo, woo, woo!
That is not at all how that bird sounded this morning. That is a bad impersonation.
Cock-a-doodle.
Wait, do you yell that up to him?
I am unsure of what you are trying to do, but if you are trying to impersonate that birthday, you are way off.
Okay. So do you yell that up to him?
Of course I yell it up to
Well,
him.
did they see him? That's what I was going to ask. Did they see him?
Do you see him?
Do they see Eldar? Because he just did a bird sound to let Lilith and Crystal know that there's something coming up ahead.
Well, you're not sure what it is. As you kind of get closer, you can see more. It almost looks like maybe roadkill or something.
Approach it cautiously.
Okay, so kind of. Oh, I need to make it so it locks tokens so you guys don't move them all over the place. Okay, go ahead and slowly move your token up. Then how you're gonna go? So you're moving up to there?
Correct, because I don't see the bumps on the map.
No, you can't. I don't want to show you them yet because you'll see exactly what they are. So let's go ahead. I'll approve that. Now I'm going to let the others make their moves real quick. Because this token, the giant cart, I'm just going to move it down here, but pretend it's still up there because your token might go behind it. So they're both moving up there. Okay. Where do you want to move, Reximus? Pretending that you're still with the cart. You can just drag your token. There you go. 25 and 30. So one other thing to mention really quick. If you look on your character sheet, on the main tab, you'll see an area that says AC in the middle. Basically the middle says AC 13. This is how hard you are to hit. On a D20, for example, with you, Save, because your AC is 13, if I roll a 13 or higher, I hit you. The INT is your initiative. When you are told to roll initiative, you just come in here and double click that. You don't have to do it in the tower. So you can just double click that tiny little die. And then the speed is how far you can move. Each of these squares are 5 feet. You can move, for example, Savi, you can move 30 feet. You move 25, so you're good. Reximus, it looks like you can move up to 30 feet. So you're good too. So I just wanted to point that out. So, Aldar, now as you're getting as close as you are right now, you actually recognize that the two bumps you're seeing in the road are definitely roadkill. And even more than that, they look like they are two horses that have been shot several times by arrows. Let me go ahead and uncover that area for you real quick. Can you see them?
Yes.
making a perception check with Aldar.
Okay, do that in Dice Tower.
Are those the horses for the two people that left last night?
So with the distance that you're at, you do notice that the arrows look like they're very crude arrows. You can kind of see them sticking out of the horses. They look like they have really crude fletchings, and the shafts aren't incredibly straight. They're, they don't look like they're well made or anything. You can't quite tell much detail. I mean, you could kind of see the silhouettes of the arrows through, because they're sticking out. But you can't quite see much of the details as far as the actual horses go. You're a little too far away for that. So if everyone wants to, starting with Aldar, we'll let you start first. And then if everyone else wants to do their moves. And if you want, you can not be in the cart, or you don't have to. So now we just need Savi and Reximus. Go ahead and make your moves where you're going.
At this point in time, I would have stopped the cart and found a way to secure the oxen, and Crystal and Lilith would have jumped off the cart.
We'll say the cart's roughly about here. All right, Reximus. Okay. All right, so we're up to you, Aldar, again. What are you gonna do? So you're moving up that way?
Yep.
Okay, before that happens, what is everyone else doing? Does anyone want to do anything in particular?
Hold on one sec.
Uh-huh.
So we're pretty close to the horses, right?
Yeah, you can actually see the horses. And if you'd like to do a perception in the dice tower, I can give you more details.
Perception.
So it will
It's
be
gonna be under your
on the
skills.
skills tab,
I know, I get you. So I
and
would use
drag that into the dice tower.
I will use perception for what again?
Perception is perceiving what's going on in the world around you.
Okay. So at this point, I'm express mistrust over Eldar and the rest of the party, since I don't know everybody in particular, but I know that Eldar did volunteer to go up ahead, and he does have a quiver with arrows in it. So I am very...
He was never out of your sight, though, and he probably couldn't have killed two horses and probably their riders in the time he was only like 15 feet in front of the cart.
Okay, all right.
Actually, I guess it'd be 25 feet in front of the cart, because he said five squares.
Crystal could pick up on our barbarian friend's apprehension, and she says, "Goblins. Need I say more? Goblins."
Okay. Does anyone else want to do anything before movements start?
I'm good.
Pull out my battle axe.
All right, you ready your battle axe? Good move. Okay. All right, so let me just make sure I have this on the map for the stream so they can see everything.
Correction, Al. There, Maximus, or whatever, not Maximus. Barbarian friend, great axe, two-handed.
Yes, you have your two-handed axe. Okay, so you get out your axe and you're kind of choking up on the handle. Hold it nice and tight. You're kind of suspicious. So as you get closer to these horses, you actually recognize they look familiar to you.
The horses or the arrows?
The horses.
My mother's horses?
Not quite that familiar.
I noticed that they're horses from that I've seen from the other night at the tavern.
Not from the tavern itself, but yes.
Something like that.
So here's an example of what you can do. You could say, I want to look at them. So you'd want to do a perception check on the horses themselves to see if you notice anything in particular. You could also do an investigation if you're looking for something in particular. For example, you say, well, I want to check if this horse has this or something like that. Then you'd use an investigation check. So you can do whatever kind of check you'd like, or you can...
Are there any other clues as to see if there are goblins or any other particular threats within the area?
Okay, so go ahead and roll me a perception.
Investigation. Okay, perception.
Perception in the dice tower. You don't really sense that there's any immediate danger.
Oh?
All right, Reximus, you said you don't want to do anything in particular?
I just want to point out that this is very unusual, and I have a bad feeling about this.
Dead horses in the middle of the road are unusual. Why, I think you're right. You really are the sharpest tool in the robot shed, aren't you? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and have everyone roll initiative. So the way you do that, remember, go to your sheet, and there will be an INT in the middle. You're going to go ahead and double-click that. The other thing you can do is you can actually, on those small buttons up top, you want to click on the one that looks like a sword. That's called the combat tracker. All right. Has everyone... Reximus, I need your initiative still.
The INT, you said?
Yes. Just double click that tiny little dice on the bottom left corner. Perfect. Okay. No, that's intelligence. Sorry, it's in the middle of the sheet. That's your intelligence check.
Smart robot.
Stupid is as stupid does.
So which one am I supposed to do then?
So on the main page of your sheet, there will be a little shield. Next to it is a square. Above it, it says IN. Oh, I said INT. I meant INIT. It's my bad.
Okay.
I think everyone else did it though. So go ahead.
Okay.
Do you see it?
Okay. Yeah.
Perfect. Rolls a 4 plus his 3. Okay, so as you guys are approaching the horses, let's just see real quick. Who are you? Give me just 1 second. Something didn't do that right. Hold on, I need to. Give me just 1 second. Something didn't actually do what it was supposed to. So I will fix it. There we go. I'm not sure why that did that wrong, but never fear. I have fixed it. Okay, so there we go. All right, so as you guys are approaching up there, Reximus, you feel, well, maybe you don't feel, but you hear the sound of a ding, and as you look down, you see that there's an arrow in your leg, and you have taken 5 points of damage. Then
Most unusual.
most unusual. Yes. Ow, that hurt maybe. Let's see, is that one?
I was stealthed.
Yeah, you do believe you were pretty stealth.
I love it. Felt like an elephant going through an elephant graveyard, right?
All right, hold on. So Aldar, you hear an arrow coming kind of from the northeast, and it just kind of whizzes right past your head and goes into the bushes and stuff behind you. And that will do for that. So now we're going to be in combat, and I'm gonna reveal some more of the map so you can see kind of what you would see now. But you're not quite sure where that arrow came from that whizzed past your head. Let's see, probably be able to see about there. That's probably good enough. And there you go. So this is kind of the new what you guys can see. So Aldar, you are up.
I'm gonna move up to that tree and stealth again.
The tree that you're going to right now?
Yep, because that's where the arrow came from, correct? Is that in that general area?
Came in that general direction, yes. Go ahead and
Okay,
roll me a stealth in the dice tower. All right. Let's see. So, do you guys all have the combat tracker up?
Yes.
Did you say you did, Reximus and Savi?
Yes, I do.
I do now.
Okay. So you'll see that at the very top it has Aldar, and there's a tiny little triangle pointing to his little token. That's the initiative tracker. When you're done with your turn, at the very bottom there's a little down arrow that says like next actor or next something or other. I think it says something different for me. It says turn complete. So when you're done with your turn, you click on that. For your turn, you get one movement, and you also get one action, unless you have things like bonus actions or something like that. So a movement would be you can move your distance. Now you can do a double movement or a dash, which is moving your distance twice. That means if I move 30, I can actually move 60 as a dash, but that uses up your two actions. Or you can move and then you can hit. You can also stagger your move and say I'm only moving like 2 or so, and then I'm going to hit, and then I'm going to move 3, right? So you can stagger it however you want, but you only get those 2 actions. So it looks like Crystal, what is it you're doing?
She casts Bless on Aldar. Knock it off! And then moves to the rocks to get some cover. And that's her turn. and
So
then Lilith's going to move to the rocks, and then that's her turn.
it doesn't look like it gave him the bless, though. It gave her the bless. So
it says target Aldar.
yeah, I know, but it's not. He doesn't have bless on him. So what you can do is where that little effect is in your actions tab, you can drag that and drop it directly on Aldar. And there you go.
All right. Well, I didn't mean
to.
to cast it twice. Sorry.
No worries. This is a
And then
learning
Lilith, they're
thing.
just both going to move to. They're just going to both move to cover because there's nothing else they can do.
Okay.
Because the enemy's not exposed yet,
Well, you
right?
can't
Like,
move
we
on
don't
top.
have-
Oh,
Is that
I was
correct?
gonna say you can't move on top of each other. Hold on. I got
Back her up 5 feet.
There we go. Okay, so that means it is now someone
else's
else's turn. Which guy is that?
Maximus's turn?
The mobs.
So
There
you
we
go
go.
Yeah.
Did you see him?
It popped up. I figured if it didn't go to Reximus, it went to the mobs.
Well, yeah, but it changed the tokens into just dumb tokens, so now they don't have their intelligence to them anymore. Let me try this again. Delete. That's really weird. I don't know why I did that. But now I have to reset the other ones as well. That is this one. Sorry.
Good.
They are goblins. They do not have an intelligence. We have decided so.
No,
So
they're-
speak of the Borg.
They're fighting me too. I mean, well, we don't know they're goblins. Unless I just let that slide.
Well, technically, we know there was goblins on the road, so
It undid
technically, it's
that
a
one
safe
again.
assumption.
What the heck is going on?
Technically, that's not out of character knowledge.
True. It keeps turning them into just dumb tokens that don't have anything to them. I'm not sure why. Let me try this. That's fine.
And if you guys ever want to play something other than Fantasy Grounds, which is Fantasy Ground is awesome, let us know. We can join our D&D group.
Okay, that one worked. Did it undo the other one? Not yet. Okay, so far so good.
Because Fantasy Grounds is really cool, and I like it. It gives me a chance to be a player and not just a DM. But if you want to play like D&D the other way, you're welcome to join our group.
Okay, so now I've got that fixed, I guess. We'll see if it really worked. Did that work? This is being a little weird right now. Alright, let's just do it this way real quick. Alright, so Aldar, you weren't so lucky this time around. As you're kind of facing that bush, all of a sudden it seems to have come from your left side. An arrow comes flying out of a tree or an area out there, and nails you in the arm for 8 damage, and you're knocked out. You are unconscious.
I object. I was stealth.
You had a 6 on stealth.
I object. I'm a level 1 rogue. I don't have cunning action, and I can take a hit.
Okay. So that happened. So that will be the end of that one. And all right, and then is this thing working finally?
Do I need to make a death saving throw because it took me down to 0 and not negative?
I usually let you do your saving throw on your next turn, especially when you're like a level 1. I'm having some goofiness happening, so give me just a second. I think that worked. Okay, so next. Save. You all of a sudden feel a very sharp pain in your lower torso and take 5 points of damage from an arrow that is now sticking out of your gut.
That's going to leave a stain.
It's going to leave a mark. And that brings us to Reximus. You're up.
Do we know the direction where the arrow came from?
So the one that came to you seems to have come kind of northeast, but probably more east.
Got it.
So it is whose turn did it? It's Reximus's turn.
Well, normally in a situation like this, I would turn it on and start being my gladiator behemoth self and just start destroying some goblins. But I see my new friend who's unconscious now, and I think I should go over there and try to heal him. Because I have healing qualities.
So yeah, you do have what is called your, what's it called?
Laying on hands at that
Yeah, you're
level.
laying on hands, which means you have, I think it's five points you can give, or is it 10?
It's 5.
At first level, I think it's 5. It might be its pluses.
Yeah, it goes up. I think it goes up 5 per level. Your paladin level times 5. Okay, so you're gonna go over there. So go ahead and move your token. It just did it again. I just watched it turn them into regular dumb tokens. Why is it doing that? All right, so you're moving there. All right, and so how many of the 5 are you giving to him?
Is it also possible to drag him back a little bit?
You didn't go very far, so yeah. Where would you like to move yourself, and I'll put him right next to you.
I'd like to. Well, could I do a kitty corner move? Like, can I
Yes,
drag
you can
myself
go
right
diagonal.
here, and then have him go right there?
Yes. So like that.
Yeah.
All right, and then of the five points that you have, how many are you giving him?
Let's see here. What do I got here? So all I got's 10, right?
No, you have 5.
I have 5 left. Well,
You
I
have
better
5,
only give
period.
him. I better only give him enough to wake him up. So what's that gonna take?
1 hit point will make me conscious.
Okay,
1 hit point.
So you give him 1?
we'll give him 1.
Okay, so he has 1. It is being a little weird because his like health bar just went all the way up to the top with 1 hit. Oh, actually, I know why. I need to do that. There we go. I was thinking wrong. It's not being weird in that sense. All right, so if you're done with your turn now, go ahead and click the arrow at the very bottom of the combat tracker. And now it's Save's turn.
All right, Sabe, just a hint for barbarians. You have that ability called Enrage. You want to do that at the beginning of every turn. Well, You only need to do it once. So the beginning of combat, it's a good time to enrage.
Do you want to rage?
Yeah, let's do it.
So a rage is a bonus action, and it'll, as long as you take damage or get hit every turn, you don't lose the rage. If you go, I can't remember how many turns it is, without getting hit, you can lose that rage. So here's what you want to do. If you go into your character sheet, go all the way to the bottom tab. It is called Actions. You'll see one called Rage under Class Features, and there's a little picture of a dude with little stars above his head. You're going to click that once, and there you go. Now if you look on the combat tracker, you'll see it says Effects Rage. What this does for you is it gives you advantage on strength checks, advantage on strength on saves for strength, but it also makes it so now any bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing will do half damage to you. So if they shoot you with an arrow and it does, 4 points of damage, you only take 2. All right, so you rage, that's a bonus action, so that doesn't count towards your 2 actions. So now what are you going to do?
Now, I'm going to move over, cover yet towards danger because I want to kill somebody.
Okay. So as
To
you
find
move
out,
over- what?
I want to get close to the dangerous possible to fight, but at the same time take cover behind those rocks and out of the kill zone.
The bush right there.
Correct.
Okay, so as you get closer, you see this bush that I'm gonna draw a circle on. This bush right here, you see it rustling and you hear some sounds.
Okay. Why? I see some of that. At this point, so like, what do I do? Do I just kind of like call it out,
So
or do I investigate, or do I?
So your options could be you've moved. You might have a couple more movements. I mean, you could probably actually move up to that bush. And then you could just swing blindly into the bush if you want and hope you hit whatever's in there.
Probably some kid running away, right? I mean,
Or you could, maybe go up to it and do a check. However, a check counts as an action. So then you wouldn't be able to attack.
Or you could stay where you're at and throw your hand axes at the bush.
Yep, you could also stay where you're at and actually throw your hand axe at the bush and maybe hit whatever's in the bush.
You know what? Let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay,
so how do I go about it?
What I want you to do, because I can't actually have it target anything because you don't have anything target just yet. But what I want you to do is inside your sheet where the rage was on the actions tab, there's two called hand axe. If you look to the right of them, one has a picture of a sword, which means I'm using this hand axe as a melee weapon. The one with the little arrow says I'm using this hand axe as a thrown weapon. So you have 4 hand axes, and what you do is next to that arrow you'll see a dice shape with a +5. This is your D20 plus your strength, which is, this is probably, this is plus your modifier. So go ahead and roll that, and we'll see if you hit whatever's in the thing. Now, one other thing actually I want you to do is down by your dice on your actual screen, if you move over, there's like 6 little buttons. It says ADV and DIS. You're going to click the DIS because that's disadvantage. What this means is you actually roll 2 20-sided dice, but you have to take the lower of the 2. The ADV is advantage, which means you roll the two 20-sided dice and you get to take the higher of the two. Because you don't actually know what you're hitting, you're at disadvantage. So go ahead and click the DIS, and then go ahead and double click the little die with the +5 for the attack next to the one that has the little arrow that says thrown if you mouse over it. Does that make sense?
There we go. Click it twice.
Oh. So you'll notice that you rolled 2 dice, right? So it shows that you rolled a 17. If you look at the thing, it says a 17 was dropped because you have to take the lower of the 2. The second one, remember what I said about ones?
What did you say about one?
A 1 is considered a critical failure. Now I have a fun little table that automatically rolls when you get a critical failure, and you'll see that it says that your effect is your armor class is reduced by 2 for the remainder of this encounter. So for the remainder of this encounter, I'm going to give you an effect that says armor class -2. So let's go and do that. And now, so if you go on that first page, remember how I said the shield is your armor class? Yours is a 13. In order to hit you, you have to roll a 13 or higher. With that -2, you're now a 11. So 11 or higher hits you. And by the way, you missed.
Nice.
So that will end your turn. So go ahead and click the little arrow at the bottom of the combat tracker to say your turn's over. Perfect. Let's see. So
Did it just randomize our initiative again?
yes, it does it every turn. It'll randomize initiative.
Hey, Tasman, I have to bail out pretty soon.
We're actually, once this battle's over, we're calling it good for tonight. So you guys are almost done already. So because this thing's being really goofy, but that's okay. It is the enemy's turn, and I cannot click on him. From the tree up above, where I can't click on that guy, so I have to place him again. You see running out of the tree a little goblin, and he runs up to Crystal with his little club, and let's see if he'll actually target her. No, he's not. He's not. It's acting like Crystal's the one targeting. This is being goofy. Crystal's now targeted. He swings his little scimitar at her and hits. Ooh. And what is that saying? Concentration. Oh. And it looks like the blessing, which was a concentration spell, is up on Aldar now because she lost concentration, and she took where was it? 3 points of damage, and that will end his turn. Reximus, you're up.
Okay. Well, you know what? We gotta do something about this. We gotta get aggressive.
Oh, by the way, just so you guys know, each of you have 1 healing potion.
Does that take up a turn?
I say I let it be a free action because it's a small healing potion. So I let it, at least at this stage, be a free action because it's just a real quick sip and move on.
Okay. Well, then I'll take a quick sip.
So if you go onto your actions tab, you will. Oh, yours isn't there. Great. Go ahead in the what I want you to do on your dice at the very bottom, I want you to first, over where it says ADV and DIS, you're going to click the +2.
Okay.
And then you're going to left click on the triangle dice. When you're going to hold your left button, then you're going to right click once. That'll turn it into 2d4. Because the healing potion does 2d4 plus 2 health.
Okay.
So go ahead and do that, and then roll it just in chat. There you go. Ooh, 8 points of health. You are all better because you only have 10 total. So, all right. So it's still your turn.
I feel really good now. I'm going to use my athleticism and my acrobatics,
Okay.
and I'm going to jump over. I'm going to jump over my fellow travelers, and
Now you realize if you do that, you have to roll an acrobatics check.
that's fine. I'm doing this. We're gonna
All right.
do some
who
crazy
are you jumping
acrobats.
over? Lilith or Crystal?
Well, I guess I'm probably jumping over these rocks here.
What rock?
It's gonna be
The
it's
one
gonna be like
directly
this.
north of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll come crashing down, and I'm gonna take my iron fists and bash this guy's
Wait a second.
face in.
Are you thinking you're Aldar?
No, I have iron fists.
I know, but you're saying you're moving
Oh.
Aldar, not you.
Oh yeah. I'm not all there. Let me go back there. Okay.
That's why I was wondering, who are you going after?
I have the ability to mimic
I
other
guess
people.
so.
Okay, so I'm going to do this crazy jump over
Over Crystal.
Crystal.
Okay. I sure hope you
And-
don't fail.
Come crashing down on this goblin with
Okay.
my iron fists.
Go ahead and roll me an acrobatics check in the tower.
Is that the 20 side?
So you just do acrobatics.
Oh,
It's in your
okay.
skills tab.
Gotcha. All right. Let's see here. Do. Bring that down. Oh, let's see here. Did that do anything? Let's try that again.
You drag it to the tower.
That was okay. Here we go. Well, it like absorbed it. There we go.
There it goes. Okay. So, Crystal. You are kind of facing Reximus as he just kind of does this like he's doing a Michael Jordan, just jumping up. And surprisingly enough, you're actually kind of surprised the height that he is able to obtain on this jump. And he actually clears you. I want you to go ahead, Reximus, and it won't let you target that one. I will target the goblin for you because the targeting's being a little goofy. I blame it on how long I had this up. That is goblin number 11, I believe. No, 5. All right. So in your actions tab, what weapon are you using?
I guess I'll.
Your longsword or hand axe?
I will. Let's see. What about this iron fist trait?
Oh, your iron fist trait. Let me go recheck what that is real quick. So iron fists. When you make an unarmed strike, you can add 1d4 to your strength. So this would mean an unarmed strike is just going to be a regular strike, which does 1d4 damage. This will allow you to do an extra 1d4 plus your strength modifier. Your strength modifier is 3, so go ahead and roll me a d20 because for some reason I don't have all your stuff in here anymore. So roll me a d20 in the tower, and we'll add your modifier, which is your strength, I believe, which is plus 3. So 17, that's 20. That's a hit.
Yeah.
So go ahead and you're going to go ahead and almost like you did with the healing potion, except for the 2-part, just go ahead and pick up the D4 and roll it. Right click so you have 2 of them. Roll that and we'll add 3. So we'll add 6 to it. So that's 11 damage. So you do this awesome acrobatic move and fly through the air, and you just totally obliterate this poor little goblin. Between landing on him and your fist coming down, tell me, describe what just happened, because he is dead.
After I do this crazy gladiatorial Michael Jordan jump, slam, I get up and I look at everybody, and let's see,
Flossing.
what's that? I do a quick Arnold flex.
And what happened to the goblin?
What goblin? The goblin is now just food for the dirt and the plants. He's just
putty.
mashed up putty in the ground.
Go ahead and roll me a d20 just in the chat.
Okay.
15. Luckily for you, there's this pile of goo, but the ears look salvageable.
Oh yeah, I forgot about my extra bounty.
All right, go ahead. That will be your turn. Lilith, it will be your turn. Go ahead and click the down arrow. Lilith, you're up.
Where's that bush that's moving by Savvy?
It would be
Down the green one. That
right
really,
there.
really...
Well, that's a little larger than the bush. Hold on, look. There we go. It's the bush that's centered in that square.
Okay, she's gonna cast Acid Splash at that square.
Okay. So I didn't. What was it you did? I'm not sure that you.
I'm trying to cast Acid Splash, so I got to target that square.
No. I will make it so it targets the Well. All right. Let's do this first. Roll me a d20. If it's above 10, you can target the creature directly. If it's below 10, you can't. Okay, so you can't do it. So now I have to figure out how on earth you're going to do an acid splash.
Okay, hold on. It says you hurl a bubble of acid. Choose one creature within range or 2 creatures within range that are 5 feet of each other. The target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d6 acid damage.
I know what
So if I'm just targeting a 5-foot square and just throwing acid there,
Okay,
maybe give him
I'll let you
advantage on the
target
saving
him
throw?
That makes sense. I'll let you target him.
Or just give him advantage on the saving throw.
Let's go ahead. All right, so let me just do a saving throw for him real quick. We'll give him advantage. I'll even let you see it. So he got an 18. Does that beat your thing?
It should at this level.
So he
yeah,
takes half, right?
I don't think he takes anything.
Let's read it real quick. Acid. Or take.
Yeah, it's or take. So if he passes, he doesn't take any damage.
So this bush starts kind of just whittling away, and you do see a goblin that I'm going to try and place on the map, but it keeps turning him into a dumb token. Run out. But hold on, I got to delete these other things real quick. So you see a goblin run out just as the bush, is engulfed in the acid and start evaporating. So that's Lilith's turn, right?
Correct.
Speaking of the goblin, he comes running up to Save. And is it going to finally let me target him?
Don't touch me.
Okay, let me target him finally. So it targets him. It's going to try and swing at him. And
Big
a 21
mistake.
hits. Now, this is what I was talking about. It will automatically do this math for you. You'll notice
Right.
he does 1d6. He did 6 damage, which is plus his 2 is 8. But because you are raged, you take half that damage. So you didn't take as much. And now it is your turn.
Do I so do I give does my damage increase the damage that I deal out?
Yeah, when you roll your
My
attack
attack?
damage, it adds 2 damage. So when you attack that goblin, it'll automatically figure the damage in because you're raged.
Right.
Sweet. Awesome. All right, since he's right there, he's exposed, right next to me.
Yep.
I can go ahead and just kind of knock him out with my great axe, right?
Hold on a sec.
Yes.
Let
Did I
me
do
make
that?
sure he's targeted for you. Okay, he's targeted. Go ahead and double click the big dice by your battle axe.
So, as I do this, I like roar out like "Eat this," right?
Sure. 15's a hit. Go ahead and do the 1d8 plus 3 slashing damage.
For a great axe, it's either 1d12 or 2d6. I can't remember.
Well, are you wielding it two-handed?
Yes.
You have to. You have to wield great axes two-handed.
Or no, it's his great axe, not the battle axe.
It was my great axe, right? So I clicked that. So I clicked it once, right?
Yes, and then you just did, so you hit. So now the one next to it says 1d8 plus 3 slashing. Double click that, and that will do the damage for you.
Huh?
No, you
That was the attack roll.
click the attack again. It's the one next to it. It doesn't have a picture of a dice. Just
Yeah,
double
let's
click
see,
that
1d12
text.
plus 3. So I'm hitting what, 1d12 plus 3?
Correct.
Yeah,
Click
yeah,
on
that's
that
fine.
one.
Because you switch. Yeah, you're good. So you rolled 3 plus that. So this goblin took. Where is he? Oh, yeah, he's totally dead. Go ahead and describe it.
As he's dying, trying to struggle for his last breath, I just stomp in his face, and I turn around, look at the rest of the party, and say, "You're welcome."
So he's totally dead. As that happens, I'm going to unmask just a little more area for you guys, and then we will call it good for this evening. Hopefully you had fun.
Oh.
So, as you totally decimate this poor little guy, I cannot pick up that goblin token now. Well, okay, whatever. So, this goblin token's being really weird, so hold on, I'm going to delete him real quick. And I'm just going to add another one real quick. So as you finish him off, all of a sudden you see another goblin. Can you see that goblin? Yes, you can. He goes booking. He already just got disabled now. All right, well, fine. He goes booking into the bush that direction and kind of disappears. And that's where we'll go ahead and leave it. So let me really quick close out my stream, and then I'll talk to you guys just really quick for a minute. So just hold on a second, all right?
Sure.
Okay.
All right, thanks guys that are watching the stream. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, check out my YouTube channel. This will be there along with lots of other videos that you can watch. And that's it. Until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.